Hi, today's topic is what is end of life? It sounds like a weird thing to do when you're designing a system to design an end of life, and that's what it is. What you need to think about is that there's going to come a time when the system that you've designed is not going to be appropriate for what it's going to be used for. Now, this is an important thing for any product in software or hardware, which you may think, well, I'm not going to be able to support this, or maybe the hardware is going to become old or broken or whatever. But it's particularly important in security, because when we're thinking about security, we're not just thinking about people attacking our system now. We're not even thinking necessarily only about people attacking our system in the future. We're also thinking about people attacking the information which has been created now, and they're attacking it in the future. So let's say I choose a cryptographic algorithm which is known to be or believed to be good and safe for use for 6 years. That sounds like a fairly long time. And you say, okay, I'm going to end of life my system in 5 years. So that means that no one's going to be using it after that. Well, it's not quite as simple as that. Because firstly, you need to ensure that people aren't using your system after that. And that always happens if you're not careful. Secondly, what about all the data that was created over those 5 years? You chose an algorithm which was safe for 6 years, but let's say in 5 years' time you've created some data which is going to live for however much longer past the time when that cryptographic system was considered safe. So end of lifing or choosing or planning the end of life of a system is really, really important. There's a classic example which is one of the first in commercially available crypto algorithms, symmetric crypto algorithms, was the DES system. Used loads by people like banks in the early days of cybersecurity systems, let's say in the 80s and the 90s. The problem was that the banks didn't end of life their systems, so they were still using these systems well into, well, sometimes the 2000s and beyond, when frankly the algorithms they're using were not safe anymore. They hadn't often considered the issue of crypto agility, which I talk about in another video which is linked in the description, to think about how they could change their systems, the systems they relied on to keep their businesses running, so they didn't maybe need to end of life them in such a way. And crypto agility is certainly one way of considering how one might allow a system's end of life to be later than it might otherwise be. But end of life is a really important concept when you're architecting, designing and deploying a crypto or general cybersecurity system. I hope that's useful. If you have any questions about this or in fact any other cybersecurity topics, please subscribe to the channel, ask any questions and I'll help if I can. Thanks.